All right, all right, all right. You ready, Freddie? I am, Pam. Look at me being silly today. So, all right, all right. Today, what I want to do is actually share with you 5 F words. Get your mind out the gutter. 5 F words for today's woman entrepreneur. Okay, my girl bosses out there looking to get clear about what you need to do to build your best business. I want to share these F words with you. Okay. Now, I'm sure you actually know a few of these, probably all of these. So, before I even get started, just out of curiosity, first and foremost, who are you? See, can you just say hey to me? I don't know where you're watching me live right now, but can you just say hey, just out of curiosity, so I can see who is here in the virtual building? Whether you're watching live or via the replays, say hey. Okay, that's just number one. And number two, out of curiosity, what do you think I'm going to cover today? What kind of F words would you like to see more of in your life so that you bossing up as a woman entrepreneur out there, right? What kind of F words can you personally share that to you exemplify bossing up? Okay. Just out of curiosity, I would love it for you to share some of those words with me. And then we'll get started. Yay. Um, I am actually jumping on this on Facebook Live as well. But I'm just curious to see, what do you guys, what kind of F words do you think I'm going to cover today? Let me know. I'm curious to see what you guys drop into the comment box. Hey, Shanita. Good morning, my dear. Good morning. Good morning. And we will get started. Okay. So here's the deal. It's your girl, LaShonda Henry here, aka Sister Sense. I help entrepreneurs make sense of making money online. So hopefully I am right on time for you if working on your monetization, marketing, and sales goals too is something that you love to do. Now that I've got you across my platforms, now that I've got you here, I am going to share, as I mentioned before, 5 fabulous words for women entrepreneurs. And I'm curious to see what you guys think those words are. So feel free to drop some of those good goods into the comment box for me. Okay. The glow up is for real right now on this ring light. It's super bright. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Let me turn down this ring light a little bit, if you don't mind. And I'll come right back around. Does this thing have a remote? I feel like it does have a remote. I'm using the big boy ring light right now. So there's that. Alrighty. Okay. So let's get back to it. First one is figure. Figure. That's F number one. Okay. So the first thing that I want you to do is I want you to figure it out. I want you to figure out what you need to figure out. What does that mean? There's so many entrepreneurs out there who are feeling stuck right now and frustrated because they don't know where to start and they don't know what to do next. So, what I want you to do is actually create a short list of all the things that you're trying to figure out. What happens when you find yourself in a space of frustration and doubt is that being arbitrary creates overwhelm. What does that mean? You're frustrating, you're doubting yourself because you're not specific enough as far as what it is exactly that you need clarity around. So I need you to figure out what it is that you need to figure out. Okay, let me give you a great example of that. So I was doing a live stream, I want to say maybe some point last week or the week before, right? And one of the ladies in my circle, she said to me, LaShonda, how do you do it? How do you do this and physically balance a business, right? And I never assumed, because I was like, when she says, how do you do this? Does she mean, how do I do my live streams? Because I have clarity sessions for that. I was like, what do you mean? I always say, Never assume because you're going to make an ass out of you and me, right? So never assume what people think. Simply ask them. So I said, can you be a little bit more specific for me? When you say, how do I do this? What do you mean, right? And then she was like, whoo, girl. How do you do the Facebook page? How do you do live streams? How do you create content? How do you build your business? How do you do YouTube? How do you get licensed? How do you cook, clean, do laundry, balance all of this? And I was like, whoo, okay, okay, Miss Sabrina, I see you, girl. It's a lot, right? So number one, I've been integrating some conversations around productivity. I always talk a little bit about productivity and balance. But number two, I mean, in the midst of her asking me this question, it inspired me to ask you specifically, what do you need to figure out? Be as specific as possible. Number one, right? And number two, when it comes to figuring things out and finding balance and all of these things, honestly, I always talk about my favorite quote: how do you eat an elephant, right? One bite at a time. And the reality is, I don't do all of it at once, right? I don't do all of it at once. It's kind of like going to school, right? You go to school, let's say you go to college, maybe you got 5 classes, right? So you don't do all of those classes every day, by the way, right? Maybe you have one class that's on Monday and Tuesdays, another one that's on like Thursdays and Fridays, right? You got different days for different classes, right? Number one. Number two, maybe you have a job, right? So you're a TA, you're an RA, you're working at Target or Walmart. So you got your class, you got your classes, your job. You got a schedule, right? So once I honestly identify the things that I need to figure out, I put them in the schedule so that I'm not everything, right? Because the reality is that you can't do everything. You just can't, right? But you can strategically put some of these things in sections so you can work on them, right? Hey, Monique, YHD Events. Hello, hello. Hey, Terry. Haven't seen you in a minute. Good morning, my dear. Here, Valerie. Welcome, welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome. Feel free to share this out, y'all. So the first F word, like I said, is figure. What do you need to figure out right now? Okay. And as you're thinking about this, feel free to drop into the comment box so we can make it a conversation. What exactly you go, oh, I need to figure out this, this, this. So in the case of Miss Z, she reached out to me and said, okay, listen, I need to figure all this stuff out, right? How do you balance all of this stuff? I'm a mom. I got a full-time job. I want to do this business. There's a lot going on. Anybody can relate to that? Well, I said, okay, I need you to be specific. So she gave me that list, right? And in that list, number two, being specific. Number three, okay, is okay, creating calendars. So I said, okay, like 5 times, right? There are certain things that I need to do, right? So let's say one of those things you said, okay, is how do I get a license? Well, depending upon the kind of license that you're looking to do, you start doing research. I know when I started doing my business, I was at Barnes and Nobles like every freaking day, sitting there reading things. And, Barnes and Nobles was like my favorite library, right? Trying to figure stuff out. So maybe you're in research mode. Maybe you are in content creation mode, right? You can't do all of it at once. You just have to figure out what exactly you need to know and then create a short list of time that you're going to calendar these specific things. So like I mentioned, the kind of like the university example, there are certain days that you go to certain classes. There are certain days that you go to work. There are certain days that you do things like, right? And then create a calendar to put those things in there, right? That's one of the ways that I am strategically, consistently on that figure it out mode, right? So being specific, creating calendars, getting help. Okay. So let me see. Was it yesterday or the day before? I don't know. So we had some ground beef. I purchased some ground beef, and my hubby cooked it, right? He cooks a good percentage of the time. And then sometimes I cook. And when we don't cook, somebody gets something, right? You need help. You honestly, there's a lot on your plate, right? Funny enough, one of my favorite shows is Single Parents. You guys watch Single Parents on ABC? It's absolutely hilarious. I catch it on Hulu whenever I can. I think I binged it yesterday, like the last 5 weeks, because I haven't been watching it. One of the episodes, one of the parents It's this sister girl. She's absolutely fabulous. Love her kid. He's the cutest too. But I say that to say the person that she's dating right now, right? He basically takes her kid for the day. And she feels guilty about that because she never asks people for help. She always does all this stuff by herself. And then she was able to get her work done, right? So he said, like, one of her friends was said to her, let him continue to keep the kid. You go and relax. You go to the mall. You have a rest day. Ask for help. And it was so difficult for her to say, can you take him for the remainder of the day so I can have a personal break time? The reality is that there are some things that you're trying to do, and you're trying to figure out how to do all of these things and do them on your own. Baby, you got to ask for help, right? And sometimes I'd be like, hey, Jay. I put on my wifey voice. Hey, Jay, can you make me some mac and cheese, please? I literally did that like a few days ago. Can you make me some mac and cheese, please? Sometimes you have to ask for help for real, for real. And some of you guys are not doing that, right? I do have let me go and grab it here. I'm always telling you guys about my book, 3 Hour Workday Routine. Calendars, time blocks, asking for help. Those are just a few of the things that, ooh, I think I poked myself in the eye with the book corner. Just a little poke. It wasn't too bad. Those are some of the things I talk about in this thing right here, right? The 3 hour routine. Hey, Anissa. Welcome, my dear. Things that you have to consider. So the first F is F, figure it out. Figure out what you need to figure out with respect to moving your business forward and getting things done. Create a list of specific questions you have. Number one, some of the things that you need to do. Maybe you need to do research. Maybe you need to create, implement. You got to integrate those things that you want to do into your calendar. If you're not putting them in your calendar, they're not going to happen, right? So that was number two. Number three, because we're just on number one, which is to figure it out. That's F number one. Asking for help. Be honestly human. Be honestly human. Okay. I'm going to be honest with you. I try to create this little set right here. So, I'm in my little purple couch. I try to keep it nice and bright. I got the ring light. I got my little vase over here. But you don't want to see the rest of my office. Real talk, it is a hot behind mess. Behind this right here, it is a hot mess. I'm actually doing photos and I'm going to video me cleaning up my office. This is me being unapologetically human. Okay, question. Who has like a room right now that's just like a hot freaking mess? Okay, I got a couple of those. I got a couple of those. My office being one of them, right? Forget about the entertainment room. Forget about it. Forget about it. My hubby's in there. My son is in there. I'm in there. The dog, the cat's in there. It is a hot mess. Okay. Why am I saying this to you, right? Which room, Monique? Which room? I know you got one. We sometimes feel that we have to do it all and do it all by ourselves. And that's not the case. You don't have to do it all by yourself. So whether it's getting helpers, which are like real people, or really great resources and tools to help and support you, you need to identify where those are, right? And I don't want to hear, but I don't got nobody around me to help me. Because let me tell you something. I used to live in Brooklyn. All my family is in Brooklyn and Florida and other places, not here. Okay. But we live here. So now that I'm in North Carolina and I'm not directly connected to these people, right? I've always been independent. Me and Jay, we've always done things our own way on our own, but we never use it as an excuse to say if we don't need help, we don't ask for it, right? You got to find people around you, depending upon what it is that you're trying to do, that can help you. Okay. You can find a way or find an excuse, baby, but you can't do both. Now, when I say be honestly human, at the end of the day, we're not perfect. Okay. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm the perfect wows. Wows. Wow. So what was I trying to say there? That I'm the perfect spouse. And I do everything. And Jay does a good percentage of cleaning and cooking. Okay. And then he'd be mad at me because he'd be like, LaShonda, why does the kitchen look like this? I just worked 12 hours. I'm going to kill you and your child. I'm being I'm being unapologetically honest, right? And I'll be like, okay, Christopher, go downstairs. Jay wants you to wash the dishes. And he'd be like, don't tell him to wash the dishes because then he's going to get the water everywhere. I'll just do it. So he mad that we not washing the dishes. But then he know that Christopher going to be a hot mess and have water all over the floor because I don't know what he does when he washes the dishes, why the water has to be all over the floor. Anybody like that where you want help, but at the same time you don't like the way they do it, so you just like, damn it, I'll do it. Oh, that's my J. That's my J there. But I'm saying that to say this: some things we can be really good at, and sometimes we can drop the ball at other things, but you can't beat yourself up about it. You have to be unapologetically you. You just have to. Here's a photo. I'm going to show you this photo here. This is me, and I don't know how well you can see it. This is me and Lisa Price, the creator of Carol's Daughter. I grew up in Brooklyn, and literally I went to Brooklyn Tech, and Carol's Daughter, her first shop was across the street on the corner of Brooklyn Tech. There was Spike Lee's joint and Carol's Daughter. Don't know if she still has that location, but she's always been an inspiration to me, right? And I remember going to a Black Enterprise event and going, man, I want to meet her. And I did not get to meet her. So then the next event I went to, I was like, she ain't missing me. I was like, laser, where she at? Where she at? Where she at? I made sure I was going to meet my Lisa Price that day. I say that to say this. If you read my blog, Sister Sense, you'll see one of the articles I wrote many years ago was about her. And someone asked her, Lisa Price, the creator of this multi-million-dollar company, Carol's Daughter, how do you find balance? You've got your family, you've got this amazing business. And she says, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. When I'm a really great boss, I'm a really great boss. I focus on that. When I'm a really great mom, I'm a really great mom, and I focus on that. I do what I need to do and don't drop the baby. That's my balance. And I was like, yes, I'm always like tunnel vision. I can't focus on 15 things at once. I do what I need to do, and I try to do those things as best as I can. Don't drop the baby. Some of you guys are trying to do 15 things at once, and you're not getting 15 things done. You're not getting it done the way that you need to, right? So I say that to say I need you to be honest and human, where sometimes you're just focused on one thing, you do that thing really well, and you forgive yourself for maybe having a messy room or not doing the dishes or maybe the laundry piled up a little bit and you're like, right? Forgive yourself for that. I'm just going to be honest with you. That's to me number one. Figure it out. Figure it out. Okay. What do you have to figure out? That was number one. And I know I took a little bit longer than I wanted to on number one. And number two, I told myself I was going to do these as separate videos, and I always do them as one video that ends up being like 3 hours. So I'm sorry for that. But I really had to dig into that. Figure out what you need to figure out, get specific, create calendars, ask for help, be human. Be okay with being honest and human because that's who we are. We're not aliens. We're not robots. We're not strong Black women who can put everything on our backs. No, we're freaking humans. Okay. Figure out what you need to figure out. Number one. That's F number one, right? Number two for me is fix. That's F number two. Fix. What do you need to fix? So, what time is it right now? It's 9:45. It's 9:45. And what am I doing? I don't know. That kind of works. Flip it to the other side. It's 9:45 right now. I was supposed to get on here at 8:30. I've been like, yeah, I'm gonna do these lives at 8:30 in the morning. Boo, sometimes I get on here at 9, sometimes I get on here at 9:30. I need to get better at fixing that. So that's something that I got to fix so that I can not be CP and get on here when I say I'm supposed to. That's number one for me, right? My stuff is all over the place. I feel like a hot mess today. It's Sunday. I could be a hot mess today. Forget about it. I'm in my favorite green shirt. I could be a hot mess. What do you need to fix? So one of the reasons I was not on here at 8:30 this morning is because there was something that I needed to fix, right? This thing in particular, I forgot to do yesterday. So I had to fix it this morning. Okay. So that caused a little bit of a delay. I want you to think about the word fix. What do you need to fix in your business? What do you need to fix as far as your schedule? What do you need to fix? Okay. Says because if you don't fix it, it's gonna stay broken. So you gotta identify which it was cute. I had like a little twist thing and it was cute and then it went away. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. It went away. I'm just gonna leave it like this and be a hot mess for real. Like my son yesterday, he said to me, "Mommy, you're so weird." It's like you're so weird, mommy. Um, I don't know why I'm so random today. I really need to take a chill pill for real. Sheena says, I'm bad at focusing on one thing as far as my business ideas and launches. My attic is a hot mess. Figure out what needs to be done in your business, right? That was number one. Number two, fix what needs to be fixed. In your business, with respect to your schedule, fix what needs to be fixed. That's a big one. Have you guys ever heard of the book Eat the Frog? You ever heard of that book? I have the book and I actually wanted to share it with you, but then I don't know where the book is because we're fixing a few things in my office. And half of my books are in the entertainment room. So I was like, I ain't trying to do that right now. But Eat the Frog is based on a quote by Mark Twain. And Mark Twain basically said this. I don't know when he said it, but the supposedly the quote is he said, "Look, if your job is to eat the frog, make sure that's the first thing that you do in the morning. And if you have to eat two frogs, eat the biggest one first." Make sense? If you got to eat two frogs, eat the biggest one first. So, Eat the Frog is about that. It's about productivity and understanding the reality is this, okay? That frog, you either eat it or it will eat you. Sometimes the things that we need to do, we procrastinate on and we don't do them, right? So I'm always talking to you guys about creating a to do list of at least three things that you say, I'm going to do this today. Sometimes we put on the to do list the things that we want to do and not the things that we need to do. They just keep getting to the bottom of the list. And by the end of the day, we like, forgot to do that. Oh, well, on to the next one, right? Who is in that space? Because I know that sometimes I could be in that space, like, oh, well, on to the next one, right? So the whole concept of eating the frog is doing the hard thing first, getting it off of your plate. Because here's the deal yesterday, the thing that I was supposed to do, I took my day and did the things I wanted to do, and then didn't do the things that I needed to do. I was like, it's Saturday. I'm gonna take a break. Sometimes we do. We need to take breaks, right? But there was still one thing that I really, really was supposed to do, and I absolutely forgot about it because it got to the end of the day. I fell asleep, and it was a wrap, right? I like my days with my naps, so I was binge watching A Different World and Single Parents on Netflix and Amazon Prime. No, Hulu and Amazon Prime. Yeah, I was on Hulu and Amazon Prime after I finished doing some other things and ran some errands and did not do that big thing. Didn't do it. Who needs to eat the frog? Can you tell me what's one frog that's on your to do list? I have an ebook that I'm working on that I've yet to finish. It is like the biggest frog on my to do list, right? And the reality is that I should eat the frog after I do this, like literally finish that because I already did one big frog that needed to be taken care of. That needs to be another one for me. Who's got a frog that they need to eat? Like for real, feel free to drop that into the comment box for me, right? Eat the Frog is a really cool book. Figure It Out was number one, right? Funny enough, I was at Barnes and Nobles yesterday and I saw Marie Forleo's book. Y'all know Marie Forleo? Everything is figure outable. I totally agree with that statement. So I haven't read her book yet. I'm curious to read it, but her book is Everything is Figure Outable. And then Eat the Frog, that's another one, right? And I should make a list of these and actually drop it into the comment box so that you guys can see it. So I think that I'm going to do that in the show notes for today's session, which is something else I need to do. But let me do this. Let me do sistersense.com/F words. So sistersense.com/F words. I can link to some of these books that I totally love. Um, Marie is awesome. Again, I haven't read her book, but I do have Eat the Frog. So I'm going to add hers in there because it is on my read list. Okay. So, yes, read Eat the Frog. Okay, awesome. So you know that book. Good, 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 good. So that's the next thing. I want you to identify F number 2. What do you need to fix? Some of you need to fix your schedule, how you structure your day. Some of you are either your day is just kind of random effort, random results. Your day is dictated by other people. So other people telling you what they want you to do. Your day is oftentimes you doing the things that you want to do and never getting to the things that you need to do because you don't eat the frog and do the hard things first. Fix what do you need to fix as far as your day, as far as your business, maybe even your mindset, right? It's funny enough, there's a book that I'm gonna drop the F bomb because literally it's in the book. It's called Fuck Your Diet and Other Things That Your Thighs Tell. No, Fuck Your Diet and Other Things My Thighs Tell Me. And I was like, yes. She's got on like a bra and a hat made of popcorn, and she's taking like a cookie out of her bra. It's like, it looks like it's the most hilarious book ever, number one. And number two, full disclosure, I already told you that I've been paying for like a year for Planet Fitness, and I still didn't take my behind there, right? So that's something that me mentally fixing that, like fixing what is the mental block, LaShonda? Why are you not going to the gym? I don't play when it comes to be about my money and my business, right? But that gym life, I'm just not there yet. Somebody's barking. Whose bias print barking? I don't know what's going on. Somebody let her out. It is what it is. They'll fix it. They'll figure it out because I'm not getting up. So fix is number 2 on this list. I might as well share that diet book with you because I think it looks like an absolutely hilarious read. So it's on my to-do list. I've been at Barnes and Noble's like 2 days this week. I really need to stop going there. I go there and I'm just like obsessed. So fix is number 2. Number 3 is finish. What do you need to finish? Okay. There are certain things that you need to fix as far as your business, your schedule, your mindset. What do you freaking need to finish? So I said to you that eat the frog concept. I really and truly am going to try to finish a good percentage of this ebook today because that frog has been like for real. It's been eating me. It's been eating at me. Do you have a frog that's been eating at you? It's like a big project, something that you know you need to do and you just haven't gotten to it yet. Who's got like a super big frog they've yet to eat? It is eating at you. What is it? Feel free, drop into the comment box. Let me know what that is. Okay. For me, it's this doggone book that I need to finish. So, what do you need to finish? What do you need to finish, y'all? Drop that into the comment box. I remember, and I've mentioned this before. One of my business besties, we were having a conversation, and she said, and this is like my okay. So I don't normally do this on my lives. If I do, maybe it's subconscious, but I find myself oftentimes just randomly taking the locks and doing that don't look too bad and doing random things. I don't know why I'm fidgeting with the locks today, so you must forgive me. Oh, you know what it is? I'm a hand talker. Are you a hand talker? And so I don't think I'm doing a lot of this today, but my hands need to do something, which is why they must be in my hair for some reason. I'm a very handsy talker. Um, Random but real. Let's see here. I need to book my call with you and finish my ebook. So book the call. Book the call. You know I love you. I do. I really do. Book the call. Literally do it right now. I know you watching me, but open up a tab and schedule the call so that we can talk. What today's Sunday. My clarity calls on Wednesday. Book the call so we can talk on Wednesday. And if Wednesday doesn't work for you, just email me because sometimes I'll do different days for clients. What do you need to finish? I know you need to book the call because you said that like 3 days ago, didn't you? You were like, I need to book the call, right? All right. What do you need to finish today? I need to just finish that email and send it off, right? What do you need to finish today? Okay. Now, here is the next one. What are we on? So figure out what you need to figure out, fix what you need to fix, finish what you need to finish. Focus. 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 Follow one course until successful. You need to focus, boo. You need to focus. You need to go from full plate to fully focused. What do you have to focus on? I said to you, I was going to tell you, one of my friends, Michelle, she said to me, LaShonda, you know, entrepreneurs, we are great at starting, but we suck at finishing. For real. Who sucks at finishing, right? What do you need to finish? And not only just finishing, but a lot of times it's dealing with distractions. So you cannot focus. What's preventing you from focusing? In order for you to focus, the first thing that you got to do is identify what's preventing you from not focusing. What's distracting you? What's making it hard for you? And then you've got to take those things out of your space to make it better for you to focus, right? It's causing you to have difficulty with your focus. Now, I do have a program. It's called Focus Forward, so that for 5 days, I can help you process what's maybe making it difficult for you to focus and get better at that particular habit. And it's at sistasense.com/focus. How simple is that? I don't know if you've ever seen or participated in the Focus Forward 5-day program. I'm like, can you give me 5 minutes for 5 days so we can knock some of this stuff out, right? And then between 5-hour intervals and 60-minute intervals, we work on your focus over the course of 5 days. And that is again on sistasense.com/focus. So I need you to ask yourself a couple of questions. What's preventing you from focusing, right? Number one. Number two, what do you want to focus on, right? And number three, how can you create spaces that are ideal for you as far as your focus is concerned? Okay. Because that for me is important. When and how can I focus? I need to be in quiet spaces like my office. That is really helpful to me. When and how. When you want to focus on those times when your energy is high and the distractions are low. Okay. Something for you to think about today. And like I said, if you go, man, LaShonda, I suck at focus and I need to get better at that. That's why I created the 5-day program. Okay. Now, with respect to focus, I want to share with you number 5. Word number 5 is forget. Forget about it. Who said that? Who said forget about it? And that's like the worst Italian accent. Is it Italian? It's like the worst Italian accent, right? Forget about it. I don't know. I remember when I met the Sopranos cast too, which was pretty cool. I've met some interesting people in my life. Sopranos used to be the biggest show. I don't even know why I'm thinking Sopranos. Maybe because they're Italian. I don't think it was them. Somebody said forget about it. I don't know who it was, right? Beautifully becoming. Welcome, my dear. I'm a little bit random talking about them F words today. So, F word number 5 is forget. And let me tell you actually what I want you to forget. I want you to forget the things that have you frustrated and fixated on the wrong things. There's something called the 5x5 rule. I don't know if you've ever heard this before. The 5x5 rule. Okay. So essentially, the 5x5 rule is this: don't take more than 5 minutes to focus on something that is upsetting you if it's not going to matter in 5 years. Like for real. Some of us, we have difficulty focusing because we fixate on the wrong things. Forget about it. And I know that might be hard to do, but that's a habit that you've got to work on too if you want to get better at being your best boss, right? You got to forget about the things that are distracted because sometimes something will come and it's negative, it's low energy, low vibrational, and you'll start to fixate on that. I remember one day I had to rush to drive my son to the bus stop. And then after which I needed to go somewhere, right? And for whatever reason, I was driving, I saw the yellow light, I was like, I can make it, I can make it, I can make it, and doggone red light camera. And I was like, oh, anybody ever got hit with the red light camera? It's like, oh. It was my worst day ever when they brought those doggone red light cameras to my little town here in North Carolina. But guess what? I was like, so frustrated because I knew I was like, I had gotten hit a red light camera before. I was like, I know it's $100 bill. Damn it. Ugh. But I was like, I was in the middle of the street. Did the red light camera hit me? Did it not hit me? I was like, man, Jay's home. I'm gonna go home. I'm telling about this red light camera. And then immediately I was like, LaShonda, no, you're not. Because you got like 15 things to do today. So the last thing you're gonna do is go home, tell Jay, and then have a 3-hour conversation about you and the red light camera. You don't even know if it hit you. Da 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 da. So that was maybe like 4 or 5 weeks ago. The two of us have been checking the mail, by the way, and no ticket. So maybe the camera hit somebody else. Maybe it did hit me, but then they were like, she was too far for her to be able to say she ran or read. I don't know. Anyway, reality is, as opposed to me deciding that day that I was going to make it a thing and fixate it on it and talk to Jay about it, I didn't. Maybe a day or two later, I was like, oh, I ran the red light camera. I might be getting $100 bill. So just look out for that if you see that. And I laughed about it and we talked about it for all of 2 minutes before it was on to the next thing, right? And that's the way it's supposed to be, 5 by 5. If take 5 minutes, if it's not going to matter in 5 years, why fixate on it? By the way, helping you fixate on your fixations. Anybody feel like you fixate on things to the point where you just can't get anything done because those things that you're fixating on are preventing you from focusing and moving forward? Fixing your fixations is actually one of the things that I teach you how to do inside of the Focus Forward 5-day program. Again, at successcenters.com/focus. So that's something that you need to think about as well, because I know what it's like. I used to be the kind of person where if something was bothering me, and it could be something really little, it would cause me to get in my bed, pull the covers over my head and be like, Satan, not today. And just forget about the rest of my day. Like, it doesn't matter what it is I want to do, forget about it. This has got me out. I'm out. I'm done. Right. And we can't run our days that way. Remember, one of my favorite quotes is, you can run your day or let your day run you. And when you feel like something negative has happened, it's distracting to the point where you can't focus and you fixate on that distraction, you're letting your day run you. And we never want that to be something that you do. You always want to be in control, right? So forget about it, right? 5 minutes, scream, stomp, whatever. Forget about it. And it may be difficult to do because I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say that I didn't look up, okay, so where do you have to be before the red light hits you? What's the red light policy in North Carolina? I mean, I did, but as those little things came into my head, just a couple of minutes, and I'd be like, you don't got time for this right now. On to the next thing. Come on now. Come on, stop it. You don't know what's going to happen. And at this point, I didn't get a ticket because, again, I didn't like see the red light and then drive. It was yellow. And sometimes you're in the yellow and you're like, I can make it. And then your little punk car ain't as fast as you thought it was. So like halfway through the light, it turned red and I saw a flash behind me. I thought it was for me. I don't know. But I haven't gotten a ticket. And at this point, it is what it is. For me, it's a great story to tell you. But other than that, it wasn't worth fixating on something when I had so many other things to do. Okay. So that's it. Those are 5 things. What was number 4? I'm going to go back. Those are 5 things that I want you guys to think about. Okay. Number 1, figure out what you need to figure out. Number 2, fix what you need to fix. Number 3, finish what you need to finish. Number 4, focus on what you need to focus on. Get better at focusing. And number 5, forget about it. 5 by 5 rule. Stop fixating on the things that are causing you to not be able to focus. Okay? So that's it. That's your good for today. I would love to know, by the way, if you do have any recommendations, suggestions as far as things that you would like me to talk about in my web class series. Please feel free to drop those into the comment box, number 1, or email sistersense@gmail.com. 2. sizzlesense@gmail.com. Okay, so either email me or drop into the comment box. Let me know a suggestion as far as things that you would like me to cover in my web class series. Number one. Number two, as far as 5 F words that women entrepreneurs need to know so that they can grow and work on productivity. Any of these hit you? Any of these in particular? Can you just kind of out of curiosity drop into the comment box and let me know if figure out hit you, if finish hit you, if fix hit you, if focus hit you, or forget about it hit you. Any of those, feel free, just kind of drop into the comment box for me, whether you're watching live or via the replays, which of any of these really hit you today. Okay. And last but not least, like I always say, I do have some awesome resources to share with you. So for those of you who are looking on fixating and focusing, well, not fixating, but working tongue tied. For those of you who are looking to work on fixing your fixations and improving your focus, you can go over to www.sizzlesense.com/focus. There we go. That's what I wanted to say. So even though I'm having the most hot mess of here days, hopefully this was good for you. Till next time, my dears, take care. Mwah. Bye.